Alright, happy Sunday, good afternoon, good evening. It's good evening really, in the UK at least. Let's just close that. Right, thank you for those that have been following me and watching my channel and keeping up to date. For those that are new, my name's Ben. I'm building my first game in Unity, and this is my devlog. And basically my devlog is it's for me really. I'd love to be able to invest time and give you guys some real sort of knowledge and tutorials and all that malarkey. But I'm actually trying to build a game, so I don't want to spend too much time on these devlogs. When I say that, for me, it's more like I feel by doing them, I make myself accountable for my game, and I like this sort of historical reference. I can go back and look at these videos and see how far I've come. And yeah, so this is a new one. Again, if you're joining me for the first time, thank you. I just make this up as I go along, basically, and I always start with a little drink. Cheers. Happy Sunday. It's bank holiday here as well, so even more excuses for having one too many. So the last time I spoke, I had a bit of a creative block. I've had a creative block for a while, if I'm honest. I didn't really see it as a creative block. I just didn't really know where I was going with the game. It's been like that for a while, actually. Because I'm experimenting and making this up as I go along, and because I'm trying to figure things out, I've tried to keep things loose and free in terms of the story and what's going on. But I think I've finally pieced it together, and it's a big departure away from where I was originally going with aliens, UFOs, and sort of questioning your existence on Earth and what would you do in this scenario. Because I was trying to shoehorn a game around that. I think that's where I was struggling to get puzzles and make it work. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, but I think I mentioned it last time. I did mention this guy who I should know and I should reference, but I can't remember where I saw his video. And what was really, it was a sub part of the story he was telling, but basically he was saying when you're making a game, you shouldn't really have the story set in stone. You should really sort of try and make the game mechanics. Ooh, there's a big old spider. Make the game mechanics fun and exciting first, and then try and sort of fit your storyline in on top. And I had tried that. I've done that, and I've got some mechanics. But I've got all these mechanics, and I've got all these parts just sitting around. And it's been feeling like that. I've just been experimenting with Unity and Playmaker and assets and visual effects, and trying to see what I can and can't do, and how I'm going to make this work. And it's been like that for a while, which is cool. It's all part of the learning. It's all part of the process. But as I say, I feel like I've now finally got a story that works. Puzzles that's worked. This is how serious I am. I've actually written stuff down. Oh, and I've spilt coffee over it. But yeah. So I think with the storyline, I'm never sure with these videos as well if I should say what the storyline is. Being a narrative-based game, am I sort of giving it away to begin with? Do I really care? No, it is. Yeah. So basically, I don't really care because no one's really watching this. So it's not like I'm losing out on millions of pounds or something because I've just given away a big secret. So basically, the game. Actually, before I tell you about where I'm going with this, there's a couple of shows that have come to my mind recently that have made me think, oh yeah. Actually, I love those. I really like those. There's two shows specifically, and I really would like to be able to do something with those. So the first show is a BBC production. I don't really normally like BBC. I think they're pretty. But it was called Life on Mars. Really, really great concept about a guy who ends up in a car crash, ends up in a coma, and the whole TV show is played out in, I think it's the 70s or 60s. But he's living in the 90s, the noughties, whenever it was shot. But he doesn't know that. This guy in the coma is living out his existence in this coma, and he kind of enjoyed that world that he was in. So that was the first one. I remember that, and I remember the ending very well. And I was like, "Oh, that is a wicked ending." I'm really glad that they went down that route. The second one, and this one, like I've watched this show about 4 times over in the last 4 years. So I've watched it once a year. To me, it's an awesome sci-fi concept, but it's the whole show went under the radar. Like not many people know about it, and those that do know how good it is. It's called The Lost Room. If you watch it, stick with it. The acting's very wooden to begin with, but the actors sort of find their characters throughout the first season. There's only one season, which makes it even better, to be honest. But yeah, the actors find the characters, and they become more natural, and they introduce more characters as they go along, and there's a whole story arc which is really, really, I find really interesting. But they had a really cool concept in that film, that show, which, as I say, is only it is one season and there's only 3 episodes. I didn't realise this until recently when I bought it on Amazon, but there's only 3. They're really long, about an hour and a half a piece. Every episode is awesome. It just gets on with the show. It doesn't dick around, doesn't mess around, doesn't try and keep you in suspense. It just goes for gold, and I love it. But the concept is really, really cool. So there is this room, this motel room from the 70s or something, stuck in his parallel universe. And basically a guy's got a key, and he can put this in today's world, he can put this key into any door, opens it, and when he opens that door, he gains access to this parallel room. Not a world, room. And when he goes into that room and decides to leave that room, wherever he's thinking of in his mind, he will exit. So that little concept, I think it's been done before, but what I really like about this room idea is there's objects in this room, and those objects end up in the real world today. And those objects that are in the real world today have magical powers, and they can do things. And there's all these people that are trying to hunt these objects down, and they're trying to gather them for their own reasons. Some believe they're like the voice of God. Some believe that they can give unlimited powers. There's all these groups that are hunting down these objects. But the protagonist is trying to find these objects and get them together and put them back into their time and place to hopefully get his daughter back, who accidentally went into that room, closed the door, and when he opened the door, the whole timeline was reset and she disappeared. Fucking weird, right, to try and explain. But I would highly recommend it to anyone who likes sci-fi. The Lost Room, I think it was about £5 on Amazon. Best £5 you can spend for a sci-fi show. Awesome. So watching those and thinking about those got me thinking about my game and like how I can mangle the two together to come up with a new concept. And also tie together these loose sort of concepts I've got in my game, these loose mechanics and whatnot. So here's what I'm thinking. And I'm always changing my mind. So basically you're going to wake up in the middle of the night with your daughter screaming, shouting in her bedroom. So the first thing is maybe an FMV or don't know how I'm going to handle that. Maybe you sort of walk into the room, but it's very restricted, so you can't escape and go downstairs and make a cup of tea. But when you enter the room, there's going to be this dark force over this girl that's doing some strange shit to her, and both of them vanish. Whoa. So both of them vanish at the same time. And then you've got to get out of that room. So that room's then going to be sealed, right? You're in your daughter's bedroom, it's sealed, you can't get out, you've got to figure a way out. And the way that you get out of it is through a portal, and putting objects in a certain pattern opens up that portal. This bit I've prototyped. Let me show you that. This bit, this is what I was kind of doing today. So here we go. Again, a lot of this is all placeholder, right? And this would be dark, probably more like this. You'd have your torch. They vanished. They fucked off now. Obviously, there's going to be it's probably going to be text. To be honest, I'd love it to all be like acted and full on vocals, but probably text. Screaming, "Ah, shit, daddy!" Bleh. So you bust in through that door and see what we've just seen, and she disappears. Now you're sort of stuck in a bedroom. Your wife's banging on the door like, what's going on? But the door doesn't open, and you've got to figure your way out. So the first thing we're going to do, and again, yeah, as I say, this is all placeholder at the moment, but there's going to be... Actually, I've got to remember the combination now. Nope. There's a combination to activate the portal. So as a player, you're kind of trying to work out what's going on. What is all this nonsense? Boosh. Portal opens. Nice bright light. If I change the daylight, you can see that's the island, which is kind of cool. Like, it's all rendered in real time. So if we look closely, we should see movement. Yeah, you can see like the tree moving, the water flickering, which needs fixing. It shouldn't be doing that. But anyway, yeah. So you got that portal, which is kind of cool, and we can step through. And now we're in this world. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the door open. No, the door will be gone. You'll be closed. There's a reason for that. So now you're in this world. You're on this island, and you'll be seeing your daughter. A sort of spirit. I'm not quite sure if it's going to be spirit or like maybe voice just hanging there that you listen to and you walk closer. And anyway, she's going to be guiding you, sort of saying like, help me, what's going on, come, hurry daddy. And you follow her through. You follow her to the first puzzle, essentially. I don't know, yeah. Work in progress. There's always something, I've just noticed that I can hear the sound of the guy walking already, which is a bit too soon. As I say, like, again, this is the spirit body things, all placeholder. That she'll probably disappear or turn into particles and fade away as you approach her. But you're basically following her trail at this stage. Oh, bloody. Yeah, and I was messing around with the terrain, which is why it's all flickering. I need to do the occlusion. Anyway, this will be the first puzzle, probably at night time. And it's kind of like a Donkey Kong thing, with like the monster holding onto the princess at the top of his tower, and you've got to get through. But it's going to be flat. It's going to be the monster and your daughter, and I'm thinking perhaps this first puzzle is going to be based on Squid Game, and you got to get close to it without him seeing you. You can't see him at the moment, but like I'll have to light him up somehow or make him more visible. But the dark guy's there. I wasn't expecting this part to work. That's what I was doing just before I started filming. Yeah, so he's caught me basically, and I'll have reset. So that's the first puzzle. It's like getting close to your daughter. He's going to be turning left and right. If he catches you, the swarm of flies, or the plague of death, as I like to call it, or what it's referencing really, is kind of reset you. All of this is happening in your coma. This is you sort of trying to make sense of what's going on. So the storyline behind you in the coma is essentially you've been in an accident in a car. Your wife, you and your daughter have all gone into a lake. Unfortunately, your daughter didn't make it, but your wife's back and you're the one in the coma. So you're trying... Yeah, you've I don't know. Everything that's happened in your life, I'm saying like in the player's life, in your life, is going to be played out in here through. So like the guy who died, oh God, get it right. The guy in the coma, he's going to be like a film fanatic, and this enables me then to tie in films and TV shows. So like the fact that it's the Squid Game puzzle or game is because the guy used to watch a lot of Netflix and he liked Squid Game, and there's going to be more references to like films and shows in the game, because your brain's sort of in that coma state and it's trying to make sense of stuff, and also it's trying to find your daughter, and you like as the player, you're not. I don't know if I've got to work out if the player knows they're in a coma to begin with, or if that's something they discover later. But I kind of like the idea that they find that out later, but actually that might make it more difficult to write the story, because I really want the story actually to be about the mother who's in the real world next to you, but you're in the coma, and she's sort of hearing buzzwords and keywords from you, like, you know, Bella, the name of your daughter. So she knows there's something going on with you, and she knows that clearly you're in a much better place in some strange way than she is, because you know, as far as you're concerned, your daughter's still alive. You've still got a chance of saving her. She obviously clearly knows that she's not around anymore. She's passed. And then, right, this is where I probably need to tighten up my storyline a little bit, but I kind of want a Romeo and Juliet type of ending where the mother decides, I don't know how this is going to work, I don't know how I'm going to play this out, but the mother decides actually she knows that her husband is in this environment, this world, with her daughter, because you're gonna save her, and she wants to be part of that, and she gives up her life to be, you know, hoping that she can somehow be part of this world. But as she does that, you wake up out your coma to realise that you've been in a coma, and there's, like, you know, crossover and a bit of a sad ending there. Something like that. It's really hard to tell stories. This is what I'm finding out. I mean, you can tell stories in games like, you know, walk along and hit a button, bang, next bit of story. Walk along, hit a button, next bit of story. I want to do a bit more than that, and that's what I've always been sort of striving to achieve. Is just a bit more than your standard narrative story. I've always got to remember, like, this is my first game, and I need to actually finish a game in Unity. Draw a line in the sand, because this has been going on now for a year and a half. And I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, like, but I don't like projects that are just continuously going on and on and on and on with no end. I think I've got an end in sight now. I've got some ideas for puzzles. You know, the first puzzle with the Squid Game's quite a simple one. I need to think of a few more of other things like that. You know, I'm thinking about aliens and the sort of heart bleep and staying quiet while something stalks you and, you know, passes you by. Thinking about the film Labyrinth. I was going to say Danny Boyle. Not Danny Boyle. David Bowie. David Bowie? Bowie. Doesn't sound right. Labyrinth and sort of the maze and the platforms tricking you. So all that, you know, again, like the films and TV shows that would have influenced this person and sort of be floating around in their brain in this coma state. That is my devlog for tonight. I'm glad I've had this little chat with myself, because I've just got a load of shit out of my mind that I did have on paper. Some of it's, I clearly need to think a little bit deeper about. But I do actually feel like I know where I'm going now. I only want 3 nightmares. That's what I'm calling them, nightmares, which are the puzzles. The first one is that Squid Game puzzle, and hopefully they get a bit more intense. There's going to be like items to collect that tell a bit more the story from the wife's side of things and what's going on. And then that's pretty much it. Like, just keep it short and sweet, I think. That's what I need to do. Just keep it short and sweet. Nice sort of storyline with a few twists and turns, like munging a few shows to make it something a little bit different and unique. And dark, twisted. Obviously, Stranger Things is a big deal at the moment, so like playing into that, tapping into that sort of style, it's not a bad thing. Yeah. Anyway, that's me. If I carry on, I'll just be talking shit for the rest of the night. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed recording this because that's cleared some things up in my mind. And yeah, stay tuned. Follow me on Twitter if you want. My name's Zero Zero Sims SIMMS 0 Sims on Twitter. Follow me on YouTube for more crap like this if you can be bothered. And until then, take care of yourselves and all the best. Bye bye.